Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Real World Blockchain. This episode brought to you by Web3 Enabler, the first and only payment solution in cryptocurrencies on Salesforce. Hi Niles, hi Rebecca, hi Zoe. How are you guys?
Hi.
Glad to have.
I'm wicked
So
fine.
happy
How
to
are
be
you?
back.
I'm terrific, and I'm happy to have my three partners in crime. It's been a long time since we had an episode with the four of us, so I'm happy. And as a starter, uh, well, we could repeat the word Binance many times because there were so many news about Binance this week from many countries and ranging from the very wicked and surprisingly funny to the very concerning and strange.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just quickly ask Rebecca, Zoe, over or under 3 articles do you think that Gautier is going to bring up about Binance?
I'm gonna go. So you said over or under on how many?
Over under
I'm gonna say.
over 4.
I was gonna say 3.
3?
Yeah.
I'm
Zoe,
gonna go with
what do
Rebecca.
you think?
Exactly 3. Exactly 3.
3? Okay.
Okay, so first news
We're
of the
trying to
day, of
trick
course. We know that Mr. CZ, founder of Binance, is starting his jail time.
I
Yeah.
believe that he's in California. I genuinely appreciate that it sounded like he was sorry and respected the laws that put him in prison.
Okay.
That's something I will say. He is also talking about doing education later, and the US government is going to let him keep his billions of dollars, and this is going to fund his ability for online education, doing something that I believe, if this is done, will bring back a much better world that we can all appreciate. And I very much like that he is looking at this since he's been recognized as someone that, well, I guess ended up in prison. But this is good. And we should recognize that. I guess that's where I'll leave it.
All right. Well, we'll see. As I said in a previous episode, I think it's more symbolic than a very strong prison time because he's going to serve 4 months or something, which is symbolically important, but that's a slap on the wrist if they don't seize his money, and obviously he didn't violate any person's own rights. He just didn't respect the laws. But that's very happy, very very pleasant to see that in this industry he's going to only serve 4 months for something which is trivial, because at the same time, there are other con men who are currently serving a very harsh prison sentence. So speaking of that, you guys know that FTX has reached a $2,000 million settlement with the IRS. So they owed $44 billion in taxes, and that's going to be reduced to $200 million. So again, I think that's a bargain.
Yeah.
That
I
happened in the
mean,
same week.
just quickly after that, FTX, all of the users will be paid back in full on dollar value.
Yeah.
Gemini is being paid back in token in kind. So if you lost Bitcoin with them during your investments, you're getting back Bitcoin.
This is neat.
Very impressive.
That's great because that's a very
This is
good use
happening right
for the
now.
reputation of the industry. Yeah. So you guys bet. So I only have 2 articles left before going over.
Oh no, Rebecca, Zoe.
Oh, so second thing that happened this week on June 3rd, so 2 days ago. Chinese cryptocurrency journalist Colin Wu has tweeted about a series of hacks that have affected users on Binance, and so there are many people and who got hacked, and the losses are amounting to millions of dollars here. Many multiple accounts were hacked. The attack actually occurred on May 24 and was facilitated through cross trading. So that's a hacking technique where hackers exploit hijacked cookies to bypass passwords and two-factor authentication. And well, it worked. So many people lost a lot of money. Zoe, as a safety specialist, what do you think about that one? Could this have been? Could they have prevented this?
I don't know exactly what controls they had in place to begin with. But obviously learning from this and then putting further controls into place is definitely important. There are so many different ways that authentication specifically can be attacked, and it's noteworthy to just take that into account. Not limited to the crypto space. There are just a lot of different ways. Setting proper passwords and certain techniques that individuals can use as well are also important. And specifically when it comes to, for example, self-custodial wallets, it's important that individual users take that into account because they're not necessarily using it on behalf of their organization, whose IT department will go and give you the reminders that you need. But yeah, it has to do with the platform as well in terms of what measures are taking place. So just looking from that and learning from it, taking accountability as much as possible, even if it is mostly on the user end. Something must be done. How they deal with these incidents say a lot, and are at the end of the day a lot of it, because it's not about if you'll get hacked, it's about when you'll get hacked. Not to sound shades saying that, but it's true.
Yeah,
it is true. You guys remember? I think it was last year that a hotel in Vegas, I think it was MGM, got hacked for like 100 million. So it can happen to anyone, and you don't need to be in the financial system for it to be very costly.
Oh,
It can happen at
absolutely,
any time, and yeah.
Yeah, that's certainly not an industry where you can get cocky just because it didn't happen to you. It's certainly not the good attitude towards it, because it really can happen to anyone, and when it happens to you, you're always thinking, "Oh gosh, I was so dumb." But that's the job of the hackers, to basically find vulnerabilities. So never be cocky
Absolutely.
on this matter.
We call it Web 3, but Web 2 is still something we have to be vigilant about.
Yes, of course. Of
Yeah,
course.
the controls are just built upon that. You just extend to certain known vulnerabilities, certain regulations, and it really is just that at the end of the day.
That's also, if I was a betting man, I would say that in a few years we'll have probably insurance models for Web3 companies. Probably not everything is going to be insurable, but there will be ideas in the business models in order to insure these things, and notably for the B2B industry and payment industry. I would be surprised if only one person in the company has access to the wallet and the other one has access to can just manipulate the wallet from Web3 enablers, crypto payment app, for example, in Salesforce, or any competitive app, any competitor of this app. Maybe there would be an insurance policy because not many people have access to the custody of the funds. I don't know, but let's keep our eyes open in the next month and years to see how the industry evolves, because there will be a need to have some legal safety nets for the honest businesses that get hacked from time to time.
Yes.
And there will be
the best of us, and I don't think it will happen to us.
Oh yeah, one of these days, one of these days we'll cry and laugh at the same time and talk about that. So I said you said 3. Well, third article and third news of the week. Well, you guys are a bit shielded from the MiCA laws in the US. So MICA laws are basically for the European Union, not the EMEA area, really the European Union only. And Binance will.
Can you spell that out? What's the difference?
Oh, so EMEA is really Middle East, including so Europe and the Middle East area. So that there are many laws regarding cryptocurrencies that only concern the European Union and that do not even concern some countries in the Balkans. And usually, when you're talking about EMEA, you always think about Russia, but here these days, the European Union and Russia are a bit in a feud. So yeah, let's say
That's
that
one
the
way to put it.
cryptocurrency regulations are not unified in this regard. So just the EU. Starting June 30, so in a few weeks, stable coins will be regulated in this area. So that means that in practice that only certain regulated companies will be able to issue and offer to the public stable coins. So there will be regulated stable coins. And that means that Binance, starting June 30, 2024, Binance will restrict the availability of these unauthorized stablecoins for the European users across its product offerings. And so, notably, the Binance Convert functions. Many platforms will restrict that, but Binance had the Binance Convert functions. So these were convert functions for unauthorized stablecoins, and they will be available in sell-only mode, but you will not be able to buy them anymore. So users will be able to convert that to other tokens such as BTC or a regulated stablecoin, but not to buy them anymore. Spot trading will be unavailable until further notice, and you will be able to withdraw money or deposit your stablecoins from or to your Binance wallet, but there will be also regulations in this regard. So that's yet another consequence for Binance this week. And I'm sorry, Zoe, but your bet was wrong.
I know. And I feel for Binance because I do think that they are actually trying to be compliant. Like they are now, as far as I'm aware, trying to play by these rules. And I'm sorry, Rebecca. I'm sorry, Zoe. I want to throw a fourth for Binance.
Just toss that in the on the table.
Where
shoot,
a financial officer is being held in Nigeria.
That's right.
For Binance based on quote unquote taxes that have quote unquote not been paid. And right now, there has been several Congress members of the United States that have actually sent a letter to President Biden worried about the safety of I really hope I don't
Tigran, right?
butcher his name, Tigran Gambaryan. Like, I really hope I didn't butcher his name. But that this is something where we have an official with Binance being held by another country. And as far as I'm aware, at least these individuals have asked him to be released. But I hope he stays safe. I hope his family is well. This is really up to Nigerian courts to decide, because this is something, as much as we talk about a global currency, that when something is done, it's still in a country's border, and they completely have jurisdictions.
We'll see. I hope that that this man will be safe again, and I hope that President Joe Biden will be able to leverage his authority in order to free the man. But that's been quite an extensive week, an exhausting week for Binance. Let's hope things go better for them because they overall are honest. So that's sometimes you just get Murphy's Law in your face and you don't have one article talking about your your bad adventures, but your misadventures, but you have 4 of these.
Sure.
All right, and so
I still think that Rebecca and Zoe won.
It was
You
close.
said
It's fine.
3, Gautier, you brought up 3. I'm the one who brought up 4.
It was close. It was close.
So another blockchain, another network, another project, Solana. Rebecca, I heard you the other day say that the Solana ecosystem was teeming with life and that it's boiling these days. What can you tell us about that?
Yes, Solana has it's building such a beautiful comeback story, right? So it crossed $200 for the first time since November 2021, which is amazing. And it's having a crazy week, right? With all the meme coins. So one of their platforms, Pump That Fun, hit over 30 million in revenue thanks to some of the hype around Solana meme coins, which is insane. We saw some celebrities as well kind of jump on that wagon. It was Caitlyn Jenner and Iggy Azalea, I think it was, right? So a lot of buzz around it. And then there's that GameStop tribute token.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one.
And yeah, and the return
Is
of
it not
Roaring
financial advice?
Kitty to social media, which caused like a huge spike, like 150%, which is amazing. So they are having an opposite week to Binance, right? They're having probably best week ever. So yeah, nice little contrast there.
All
Yeah.
right.
I'm just gonna ask you all. Roaring Kitty, deep fucking value. What do you think?
That's
Yeah.
that's a complicated one.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, I think it's
Because
awesome
he was
that he's come back.
absolutely right with GME. He's
Yeah.
brought it back for the actual stock of GameStop. Does it make any sense for a meme token that has no value tied back to the actual company that it is supposedly
It's
representing?
it's really just a tribute at this point. It's
Yeah.
really for me. I look at this industry just the same way I look at NFTs. I love NFTs when it comes to notarial acts, when it comes to counterfeit product tracking. That's wonderful. I love NFTs for online certificates such as a diploma, a degree, something basically where you need a certificate of authenticity. I kind of like. I can understand NFTs tied to collectibles, even though I'm not super interested in that. I'm probably not in the industry target, but I could understand that. But I really despise the bubbles where people. It's not that I don't despise it. That I despise it. It's just I face palm myself into oblivion when I see that. When I see people basically paying the price of 6 or 7 big houses where you could really house the homeless and buy a certificate telling you that you own a JPEG. So yeah, there's a point. I must be too old for that. So there's a point beyond which my old inner guy is basically saying, "Oh, this is madness. It has to stop." So same thing about tribute coins. I'm not against that. It's just that. Let's face it, in a few months, we're going to hear about people who basically lost $5,000 to this tribute coin because it's not tied to any utility and it's not even tied to real assets, so or to shares in a company. So yeah, that's a tribute coin.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to pay respects, you could just, I don't know,
maybe buy a share.
Yeah, or something like that. So, but. Yeah, my inner old guy is thinking this is madness. Let's.
Okay.
Well,
I think
people want to feel like
in
they
the coming
belong to
months we're
something.
gonna have Gautier to the moon. This is not financial advice.
And so that's the last one. Yes.
You might find him on Solana.
And so this is the good transition for me to talk about the last news we have this week, dear listeners. So we are proud at Moon to announce that there is a side project that we were building, and that is now becoming a very principal project, a main project, namely Sky Protocol. So I know Sky Protocol quite a lot, for I am the head of operations there. But so yes, conflict of interest disclosure. Yes, I have a big conflict of interest here. But I would love to hear Zoe and Niles basically tell me what you remember of that, and what you liked in this project.
Zoe, would you like to go first? Because I'm probably going to pop off. I'm extremely excited about what we have to say.
Sure. So yeah, it is a data availability layer based on Cardano, and security and privacy in mind, the best of optimistic and pessimistic roll-ups combined. Yeah, super excited about the security and privacy implications. Yeah, I mean, built off all the benefits of Glow language, which is unique in the space as well.
And so you,
Yeah,
you Niles?
this is something where we can talk about Hoskinson.
Yeah,
He's
Charles?
the founder of Cardano. He is also one of the founders of Ethereum. And this and Polkadot and Ethereum are really the three ideas that came out of the first smart contract chains. And what makes Cardano stand out, at least to me, is scientific papers for every step along the way.
Mm.
They take this extremely seriously. And our friend Thare created the Glow language to be a blockchain first coding language, and then developed this Sky protocol. It is not only Cardano based, it is able to go on and be worked with for other rollups. It goes and allows for UTXO past dependencies to be recognized, which is extremely important because that is something that is holding back the UTXO chains versus the wallet chains. Or I shouldn't say wallet, I should say account-based chains.
Mm.
So the difference between a Bitcoin wallet, every time you're going to go and get a new wallet address, versus EVM chains, that's one wallet. Glow and Sky Protocol is solving this. I'm extremely bullish.
And so the clear consequence of this technology in the end, so basically mutualizing all the protections of all the,
Yes.
of the whole layer one, to protect all the small side chains, to have very safe and secure apps, no matter what their size is. The clear consequence is also a cheaper transaction fee, and it's going to be hard to have precise number to basically know the limits of this improvement, but it's very sure that very likely to have at least a 10 times lower transaction fee in the end. It could be much higher than that depending on the parameters that you would be able to choose on Sky Protocol. So yes, everyone is excited, and
Yes, and this is something that will this will compete with Celestia.
Mm.
This is going to compete with Eigenlayer.
yeah,
And we are able to go and provide, well, not because Fare is really the one. I'm not a nerd. I can't do this. Fare is able to go and do this with UTXOs that both of these other chains are not able to provide. Gas fees will be paid in ADA. This is a true scalability protocol on Cardano that we just have not seen before and is scalable to other chains.
And imagine what kind of decks we could buy and build with that, because that means that we could be able to buy a dex with very cheap transaction fees, very clear cross-chain bridges, and so that it will also open the border to cross-chain payments, and in the end, that would be tied to, you know, cross-chain payment solutions, because let's face it, everyone wants to be the next Ethereum killer or the Bitcoin killer and have the chain that will, you know, one chain to rule them all. But my take on that is that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is that liquidity is going to stay where it is because of everyone's allegiances, and basically the goal is to make things as interoperable as possible in order to bring more comfort for people. That's what I think. And this
Yeah,
is what
empowering developers, starting with Cardano, is just super promising, and everyone that that we've gotten feedback from is really excited so far. For good reason, mostly within the Cardano ecosystem. And we've had a relationship with between Moon and Cardano for a long time. I believe they were one of our first partners, and it just it makes a lot of sense. Getting all of that science into practical production to empower developers. I mean, what else could be better? You see other programming language related to this, and it just in general, and it's just not the same as Glow, for example. It's really not. Glow is just far simpler to learn, to use, to port to various blockchains. I'm just so excited bringing that into a product.
That's very exciting, and of course, it's not going to be hard for us, but we're going to have a 1-to-1 interview or a 4-to-1 interview with François René Rideau, aka Fare, the lead architect of this project, because that's going to bring many answers. And it's interesting to see there are already people asking more questions about that. So we don't know exactly when we're going to release the Sky Protocol project, but the first token sale is coming soon, and then development shall provide a prototype in the next months. More specific dates later. All right, guys. Any last words, questions, remarks, insults?
Epic. This is epic, as always.
Fantastic.
Till next week.
All right, everyone, dear listeners, this was Real World Blockchain, the podcast where you can learn how to make your business thrive with Web3, cryptocurrencies, and the blockchain in general. Thanks, Rebecca. Thanks, Zoe. Thanks, Niles. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.